As far as desserts go, it is pretty difficult to go past a cheesecake. Now, there are lots of different varieties of cheesecakes, and you can either set them in the fridge or you can bake them in the oven. The recipe is much the same for both. The only difference being you're either going to add eggs to the one that you bake in the oven, or you're going to add gelatin to the one that you set in the fridge. But you can also add other ingredients to cheesecakes which really enhance them enormously, and one of those which really is hard to beat is white chocolate. Now this recipe is delicious, and I'm going to show you the baked version of it today, and I'm going to bake it in the oven. But I have also since discovered, after getting a steam oven, that when you make a cheesecake and you steam it as opposed to baking it, the results are nothing short of astonishingly divine. Not only does it look fantastic and it keeps its colour, but, i.e. being cream or white, but it also absolutely preserves the texture like you would not believe. So I'm going to do that separately another time. We're going to do another recipe, and it'll be the same recipe or a variation of it, and I'll steam it and show you the difference. But right now we're going to do the baked version, and again, this is another one of those recipes that will really blow your guests away. It doesn't freeze very well. I have tried freezing cheesecakes many times before, but I don't find that they really come out perfectly, so I wouldn't advise that you do that. But it will keep for several days in the fridge, so you can make it in advance and have it ready for the night. So let's have a look at the ingredients and how easy it is to make.
What you'll need for this recipe is cream cheese, white chocolate, sour cream, sugar, eggs, and vanilla extract. I'm going to make individual cheesecakes today instead of one large one. These cook more quickly, they look a little bit more interesting when they're served up, and they're ideal if you're serving them at a dinner party. Now this baking pan is ideal for this because the bases are removable, which makes popping the cheesecakes out very easy when they're cooked. Now the recipe has a link to the biscuit base, which is another recipe and video in itself, so you'll need to come back to the site to view how that's made. I'm not going to be showing that in this show today. As you can see, I've already put the base into the bottom of the holes and pressed it in so it's firm. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to melt the white chocolate and the sour cream together. When you're melting chocolate, any chocolate, you'll either need to add some form of fat to it to prevent it from burning, or you need to melt it on an induction cooktop like mine, or use a simmer mat, or put the chocolate in a bowl suspended over a saucepan of simmering water. Now just allow that to melt slowly. While we're waiting for that to melt, let's prepare the rest of the ingredients. I'm using full cream cheese. You can use light if you like, but the flavour will not be as rich. You'll also notice that I've cubed the cream cheese and I have it at room temperature. This will help it mix better and produce a creamy mixture. Begin by giving the cream cheese a mix up first before adding any of the other ingredients. Next, add your eggs one at a time, beating each one in before adding the next one. Now once they've been incorporated, continue to beat for some time until your mixture is smooth and almost lump-free. Now this could take several minutes. You can also do this with a stand mixer if you prefer. Periodically you want to scrape down the sides of the bowl to gather any mixture that might have flicked up on the edges, and add it back into the rest of the mixture. Next, add the sugar, all at once, and the vanilla, and continue to beat until all the ingredients are thoroughly combined. Now you can use vanilla paste, extract, or the scrapings of a vanilla bean, and how much you add is really up to you. It's a bit more of a taste thing than anything else. Now allow that mixture to sit for a few minutes while you check the chocolate mixture. I'm going to give it a fairly good stir and mix in the ingredients to ensure that there are no solid pieces of chocolate. You'll be able to feel these when you're stirring with the wooden spoon. If you find the chocolate is still not completely melted while you're actually stirring, you can increase the heat a little to speed up the process, but be careful not to burn it. When the chocolate is completely melted and combined with the sour cream, now what you want to do is add this to the cream cheese mixture and beat the two together to a really smooth batter. Now if I was going to make one large cheesecake, I'd pour the entire mixture into the tin over the base from this bowl. But because I'm making little individual cheesecakes, that's not going to be an easy task, so I'm going to transfer the mixture to a jug to enable easier pouring. If you use a spatula to scrape out the mixture from the bowl, you'll get to use all of it, and you will need all of it because it will fill the holes perfectly. Before you add the mixture to the tin, ensure you've greased the holes, not necessarily under the biscuit base, as this contains quite a reasonable amount of butter and it will act as a lubricant, but more importantly, around and up the sides of each hole. This will ensure that the cheesecakes are easy to remove once they're cooked. Now fill each cavity with the cheesecake mixture. filling up to about a centimetre or so from the rim. This will allow it to rise without overflowing over the top. If you go higher than that, you'll find it will protrude over the top and it'll end up looking like a souffle, and it won't be easy to remove attractively. This recipe quantity will make about 9 individual cheesecakes, or one large one which will feed about 8 to 10 people. Now it's time to place it in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now once they're cooked, this is what they look like. Now even if they do rise, they will sink down on cooling, giving you a relatively flat top to decorate when you're plating up. To remove each cheesecake, pop it out by pushing the base up from the bottom. Now you may need to use a knife around the edge of the cheesecake to help loosen it. Then push the base up and lift out the cheesecake. Then using the knife, remove the metal base and position your cheesecake in the middle or on the side of the plate, wherever you choose. Add whatever garnishing you wish. It could be berries or fresh fruit, or even a sauce such as coulis, or you might even want to use a chocolate sauce. Whatever you prefer, it really doesn't matter. It's the cheesecake itself is so divine, you could almost eat it on its own, but of course we want to make it look good as well. And I always dust with a little bit of icing sugar for just that final touch. And then of course you serve it up.
Now, if you thought that looked fantastic, wait till you see the steamed one I'm going to do for you next time. Now, I might not do white chocolate, I might do a different flavour or something else in there, but the basic premise of cheesecake, which is fantastic, is that it's the same recipe. You don't really vary it too much, you just add the extra bits and pieces to it. So we'll have a look at that next time. I hope you enjoyed that. I know your guests will love it, and I guarantee that they'll be coming back for more. Thanks again for your company. Don't forget, come back to blackbookcooking.com and register so that you can see all of the other recipes back there, and also the videos obviously, and also get a copy of the Little Black Cookbook, the e-copy version of that. That's free once you register on the site. Thanks again for your company. Really enjoyed being here with you today. I hope you've had a good time, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.